Orders of the day.
Ballot item number 95, Order M153, second reading of Bill 153, an act to amend the Long-Term Care Homes Act to provide spouses with the right to live together in a home. Ms. Fife.
The member for Waterloo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move second reading of Bill 153, an act to amend the Long-Term Care Homes Act to provide spouses with the right to live together in a home.
Ms. Fife has moved second reading of Bill 153, an act to amend the Long-Term Care Homes Act to provide spouses with the right to live together in a home. Pursuant to Standing Order 98, the member has 12 minutes for her presentation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thanks for the opportunity to speak today about an issue that's very close to my heart. Before I begin, I want to thank the hundreds of people who shared their stories in support of Bill 153. I also want to thank Jim McLeod for being here today. Jim has been separated from his wife of 61 years, Joan, for the last 2.5 years. He was brought here today by Elaine Shantz, who's the Executive Director of Fairview and Parkwood Mennonite Communities, and I want to thank you, Elaine, for being here as well. Actually, Jim's proving, please give him a hand. At almost 80 years of age, Jim's proof that it's never too late to start lobbying a politician. The Till Death Do Us Part Act amends the Long-Term Care Homes Act and the Residents' Bill of Rights to provide individuals in long-term care with the right upon admission to have accommodations made available for their partner in the home. Couples should have the right to live together as they age, but in Ontario, our long-term care system is in crisis. The bill before you today in this legislature came about because 3 years ago I was trying to help a couple come back together. And you know, seniors do not age at the same rate. And so the wife was in a long-term care facility and the husband was in a retirement across town. I was not able to be successful in my advocacy, Madam Speaker. And I will never forget.
You can do this.
Yeah, I have to get angry. I'll stay angry. The husband said, "I took an oath, a vow until death do us part." And it was one of those moments that will stay with me forever. And so that is why this bill is before you today. So how do we get here? Well, recently our Financial Accountability Officer reviewed our long-term care system, and we will know that the Liberals held power in this province for 15 years, and for the last 18, 19 months, the Conservatives have been in power, both majority governments. And a true lack of investment is truly the culprit here, Madam Speaker. The FAO report showed that there are nearly 35,000 people on the wait list for a long-term care bed, and that number has grown by nearly 80% in the last 8 years. Why? Because our population of people in this province have aged 75 and over have increased by 20%, while the funding for long-term care has, over that same period, has only been 0.8%, not even 1%. In funding for seniors in Ontario. We are in a place right now where the only people who can get into a long-term care facility are people on a crisis list. The entire system is in crisis. I had one person who manages a long-term care home tell me that 90% of their new residents come to the home off the crisis list. Spousal reunification is made exceptionally difficult because our system has not been invested in. Not only are we speaking about keeping seniors together because they ought to be together, this bill essentially is about shining a light on all the ways we can work to improve the system and what our responsibility is as legislators to make sure that that happens. Now, we as a party, to be fair, have been advocating for years for improvements to our long-term care system. We consistently have called for a comprehensive fix and find inquiry into our long-term care system because, Madam Speaker, we cannot fix what we don't understand. You need the data, you need the information, and so this was supposed to come out of the Wetlaufer case. For our minimum standards of care, we have consistently called upon the governments of all stripes for this. The member from Nickel Belt has advocated over and over for evidence-based policies that treat people, whether they live or work in long-term care home, with respect. This work has been continued by the member from London Fanshawe. We will not stop fighting for appropriate care for Ontario seniors. We will not. And that must mean, Madam Speaker, a mandated 4-hour of minimum care for people who require long-term care services. Personal support workers, it is not an exaggeration to say that PSWs are essentially holding together the frayed social and health care net that is in this province. It's time for a fair wage for personal support workers who carry our long-term care system on their backs. But it's also time for a fair workload. And this is the key piece, Madam Speaker, because if we're truly going to treat seniors with dignity and care in our system, PSWs cannot have 30 patients to care for. It is cruel for them as workers, and it is unusual. It's extremely cruel for their patients. Earlier this year, the Waterloo Region Health Coalition put together a phenomenal survey on PSWs in long-term care in Waterloo Region, and this is what they found. There's no mandated ratio of PSWs to residents, meaning that depending on the type of home, residents can receive wildly different levels of care, standards of care. In local not-for-profit homes, the ratio is sometimes from 1 to 7.5, but it could be as high as 1 to 23. There are, of course, also frequent staff shortages, which go back to wage issues and untenable workload. There are no incentives to train or remain employed as a PSW. We cannot fix the long-term care system without putting personal support workers and holding them and valuing them as important people in our system. It will not happen. There are no benefits, raises, mileage, career advancement, educational fundings. We've essentially taken personal support workers for granted for years now, and it must be addressed. In Waterloo Region, for-profit long-term care chains offer wages from $15 to $16 an hour versus a not-for-profit home like Sunnyside, for instance, in Kitchener, and they offer $27 an hour. That speaks volumes to how you treat the people in your system, Madam Speaker. I want to make an economic case, a financial case for investment in long-term care so that reunification can actually happen. The cost of a hospital bed versus a long-term care bed. Now listen to this. And these are 2016 numbers. A hospital bed is $842 a day. A long-term care bed is $126 a day. Care at home for a senior is $42 a day. It is fiscally irresponsible to not accelerate and invest in long-term care. You will not address the hallway medicine issue in this province without first addressing the long-term care. Ottawa, just this past week, CBC did an article on the Ottawa hospitals. They spend more than $250,000 caring for patients who are occupying beds that they don't really need. Seniors in hospital beds they call them bed blockers. I don't call them bed blockers. It's not their fault. It's not the seniors' fault that there aren't options for them to go. It's the fault of the legislature. It's the fault of successive governments who have not built options and quality care for those folks. In Ottawa, it's $1.8 million a week. Think of that. So over 1 week in Ottawa hospitals, the 3 acute hospitals there, they see 292 ALC patients. These are patients who should not be in a hospital. They should be in a caring, long-term care or retirement or assisted living options. So the financial case is here. It's right before you to invest. And I think our seniors are owed that. You know, this government talks a lot about the moral imperative of our work here, and then they go in very different directions, in my view, Madam Speaker. But you know, we say a prayer here in this House on a regular basis as legislators. It's a non-denominational prayer, and it says, "Give to each member of this legislature a strong and abiding sense of the great responsibilities laid upon us. Guide us here in our deliberations. Give us a deep and thorough understanding of the needs of the people that we serve, and help us to use our power wisely and well." Well, I mean, essentially we're praying for ourselves. And listen, we need all the help we can get because the problems are real. But if you are truly being focused on the people that we're elected to serve, we must all come to a very principled position in this House that we have neglected seniors across the board. And now is your chance. It is your chance as a government. I mean, these appeals were made to the Liberals for years. and they were never taken up, Madam Speaker. I want to say that the social media support that I've received, I've never received over 350,000 views of a bill before, because this bill touches everyone across the province, across the ridings. And some of the stories are definitely heartbreaking, and I want to respect those voices. Anne-Marie says, we had to put Mom in a long-term care as she has dementia and Dad couldn't take care of her anymore. He had to give up on their apartment and move in with my brother as their pensions barely cover Mom's room. So the cost of long-term care is a major factor. He is a lost soul and his heart is broken without my mom. They've been married 59 years this past June and together 62 years. Dad is literally dying of a broken heart as he has been deteriorating since it happened. You can't hear these stories. You can't bear witness to this and then not do anything. You can't. So the case to accelerate the funding is there. The economic case is there. The moral case is there. If you truly want to address the healthcare system and all of the impacts of hallway medicine and the pressure on our system right now, then accelerating funding and streamlining the licensing process is a needed step. You know, Parkwood and Fairview, they are long-term care homes who are they're ready right now. Their application is right on the minister's desk. They're ready. 38 beds in Parkwood, over 100 in Cambridge. It should not take 3 years to build a bed. If you want to talk about red tape, then this is red tape that we will certainly try to help you with. Let me be very clear about that. So I just want to say the way forward is to accelerate the investment, is to streamline the licensing process, and so that we are not here in a year's time, because I'm not going to give up on this. The member from Nickel Belt and London Fanshawe and London, we're not going to give up on this. This is going to require all of us to get it right. Every story that came across my desk and into my office has a common theme. When spouses are separated in the last years of their lives, often after decades of marriage, they ultimately die of a broken heart. We have so many testimonials to confirm this. And I just want to say to all of the people across this province who reached out to me, who understand that this needs our full attention. And I'm very hopeful, I need to be very hopeful, that this government will do the right thing and pass until death do us part.